What's up, fish tank people? This is Brad coming at you with another video. This one is my APiSTOGRAMMA species here. This is the third batch of fry that I have from my male. This female is definitely a second batch for her. There's two females in here, and there's one in hiding right now, but she is also partly responsible for the two spawns. Hopefully you can pick up the fry here. Sorry with shakiness, but oh yeah, you can see him in there. Look at the color of that female. I suspect it's a wild APiSTOGRAMMA cacatuiodies. She doesn't like me staring at her with this camera. Yeah, you can see the fry. So this is, like I said, the third batch for my male, who's in here somewhere hiding. Here he is over in there. He'll be out in a few minutes. I'll get you to get a glimpse of him as well. Here we go. Speak of the devil. This guy is a real stud. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to actually leave him in there and leave the other female in there and just see what happens. I usually remove the male, and I usually only do a pair at a time. I don't usually do trios, but since I have all of these guys, I figured I can risk it now. Just let me get comfortable for a sec. Right now they're munching on some microworms. And if you're planning on breeding APiSTOGRAMMAs of any sort, then you should definitely invest in a culture of microworms. Mine are doing very well and growing very quickly. And it's in due part to the softness and the pH of this water, 6.3. Straight from the tap. Plus I do weekly water changes, 50%. Algae builds up quite quickly in this tank, so every month or two I'll suck it all up. I like to leave it down for them to kind of munch on, and it's a good gathering spot for microflora. These guys are probably going to be out of focus. But there are tons in here. Here's the macmasteri male that I had in a previous video. This guy is stunning. Seriously, beautiful. And this is his female right here. She's right there. She is beautiful. I just moved her last night, and this is their latest batch of fry in here. And she was starting to nip at them. Last night I noticed it, so I was like, okay, you gotta go. Once they get to that point, they start to get territorial. I don't take any chances. I really love these fish, and I want to fill in a tank with them and see how they do as a group. Wish I could get some better footage. There's probably about 30 in there. Anyway, that was their latest group of fry, and this was the first batch. These guys are eating flakes, pellets, microworms, brine shrimp, frozen brine shrimp, and not the baby kind. I also do some bloodworms every now and again, some frozen daphnia, but typically their staple is flakes. This is a 10-gallon. Much more better footage with these guys. This is over here, you're not going to see them, but this is my second wild pair of APiSTOGRAMMA cacatuiodies. The reason why I'm keeping the camera here so long, although you can't see the fish, is because this sand, I'm just basically trialing it right now. It's local sand here in Newfoundland, and it's straight from a saltwater beach. And I was told, you know, it's going to be a combo of coral and shells and whatnot, but here in Newfoundland we don't get a lot of shells on the beach. No, we don't get any shells on the beach. The coral, of course, this is cold water, and I don't know what our corals are like, but we get icebergs, and so I think a lot of that has been, you know, the inshore has probably been damaged and floated out to sea, maybe, because I don't see any shells or coral in this sand, and the pH is unchanged from the tap, as is the hardness. So the water here is very soft, and it remains soft. So pH I did on this the other day was again 6.3 after being in the tank all day. So I basically said shag it, and I threw them in there. These guys were in a Marina breeder large, and it was a hang-on, and they were kind of skittish anyway, because that wasn't a great environment for them to be in, but I had nowhere else to put them, and so I decided I would bring my old 5-gallon back out. And I've had my macmasteri breed in this tank once before, so I figured I'll give these guys have never bred before, but hopefully now when they get comfortable. This is only day number 1. Last night was the move, so I think that's when I did it. But what do you think of this sand? I think it's awesome. Those guys are eating, because I had bloodworms in here and last night, and then I had some New Life Spectrum pellets in here today, and it's cleared out. So I'm actually going to be changing all of the substrate to that sand eventually. I'm probably going to start with this tank up here, because I'm going to move this macmasteri fry down to with the other ones pretty quickly, and get the macmasteri male and female out of those traps and into here again. And with this spawn, I'm going to leave the pair in here. I was going to do it last time, but then I noticed the female and male were getting pretty roiled up, and I didn't want to take a chance on it, so I removed the male and left the female in to care for her young. So this is a APiSTOGRAMMA gephyra or something like that. I don't know. I am going to put the description in the comments below, so you'll be able to tell. But it's basically a species that's very similar to the APiSTOGRAMMA agazi, or agazi, or however you want to pronounce it. These guys were in my 30-gallon in the bottom. This cave right now, I think, is being utilized by a male. He likes to hide in there. I've also seen him with a female in there, so I don't know if he and her have eggs in there and he's doing the work, or if I have the sexes mixed up. I don't know. But there was a pair in there in that cave. This may be a different species of Apistogramma. If you know what it is, put in the comments below, but I will put what I think it is. I don't know if it's a male or female. I'm thinking because of the yellow and the finish that it might be a female, but I think this is a female. Oh, didn't like my fingers. I also have some betas in here too, a male and a female. They've had eggs in there as well. I just want to give them some swimming space and see how they do in a large tank. Even after the male was tending to the eggs up here, the female, I left her in the tank. And this is a 6-footer 40 gallon made out of plate glass, DIY, not by me but by somebody else. And so there's lots of swimming room there. Found a fish on the floor this morning, and it was one of these. I think it was a female. I think there was 2 males and 4 females, so now I have 3 females, I guess. This is quite a stunning looking fish though, if you like yellows. And it's been colored up ever since I put it in this tank. It was colored up before, but it's really bright now. Just a stunning fish. These fish are wild as well, from Spencer Jack in Winnipeg. I had them shipped to me and I paid a fortune, but it is what it is. I love this tank, but ever since there's no cover on it, ever since I put it in, I'm starting to get like a fishy odor. So I'm going to try and build a cover for it. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I may get some plastic and you know, cut it to fit and see if I can get a glass cover for it. Because you know, this is in my house and it isn't in the basement. Here's my convicts over here, and this male has been beat up pretty bad. Lobster, or crayfish, blue lobster they call it. Orange lobster. These guys, I'm going to hopefully get a 20 long for these guys and put 2 of them in the same tank. I think it might be a male and a female. I'll talk about those more in depth later. And my frontoses are still in this stupid 30 gallon, but the water is perfect. And they're very healthy. Just look, they're not even acting any shy at all right now. There's actually 7 in there. One likes to hide in that plastic ornament on the left, so he's probably still in there, and it's one of the bigger ones. But I really want to get these guys into a bigger tank. When I get my new stand, I removed the tank that I had in here. Just some junk in there now, but just to downsize a little bit to get ready for the big move. Big move being the renovation of the fish room, or the fish closet as I like to call it. Anyway, this video is getting quite long. I'll keep it under 15 minutes. Good night all.